Coming up next is Entrepreneurs Anonymous.
Heather Jones Design started from the age of 16 years old on the Dragon Independence Square. Every evening after school, I went to St. Martin's Girls High School in Belmont. And every afternoon after school, I will walk down to the drag and go and pick up leather scraps and go home and stitch it up until it made a big piece of leather. And then I will go and watch the guys work, because what had drawn me to that place was all the creative energy. There was lots of creative energy there. And I love that place. So I used to go, and I used to get in trouble again for going there, but I went anyway. And I collected my scraps, and that's how Heather Jones Designs began. By collecting scraps and doing things from scraps.
Stay tuned.
Planning a business function, vacation getaway, or conference in Barbados? Visit the all-inclusive Island Inn Hotel, located within the Garrison Historic UNESCO Heritage Site and steps away from the capital Bridgetown. Let us amaze you with our simplicity, old world charm, and a true Bajan experience. Island Inn Hotel, Barbados. Let your Caribbean dreams come true.
So I say, let's plan our vacation, and suddenly everyone's on Liat.com. My wife announces she'll Liat.com, a nice hotel near restaurants and shopping malls. Must hide credit card. The kids want to Liat.com fun activities, and since someone has to be the sensible one, I'll Liat.com flights, our travel insurance, and a car. Well, sort of sensible.
Liat.com. What else do you need?
Everyone has a dream, but only a special few have a story. A story about the journey from idea to enterprise. These special few know about the addiction that causes you to grow, to risk, to build, to share. This is their story. Welcome to Entrepreneurs Anonymous.
Hi, my name is Heather Jones, and I am an entrepreneur. I guess I was born a fashion designer and I grew up in a home where it was very, very creative. My mother is the most creative person that I know. She sewed. She was a hairdresser. She was a seamstress, a hairdresser. She made mass costumes. She made earrings, chains, belts, you name it. Whatever she put her hands on, she's going to make something out of it. And always doing stuff. So I grew up in that very, very creative environment. And because of that creative environment, and I've been born to be who I am. And of course, by now you should know that I am a very spiritual person. I was born into spirituality, and so she knew who I was from a very little child. So I was brought up to walk in my queenly character. So the thing about it is, what happens as a child growing up from the age of 7 years old, I remember my mother would be there sitting down sewing, and every minute she had to tell me to move under the pedal, picking up scraps or picking up pins, at doing stuff and looking at what she's doing. And from a very early age, she started me off doing every handwork, cross stitch, huckabuck, smocking, every handwork, crochet, you name it. Everything to do with your hands, she taught me to do all those things. So I live the life of a designer from a child. So it's like, it's in my blood, it's everywhere. And it was really, really, and even on Christmas, I would get dolls. And I will never break my doll because I love my dolls. My dolls were like my models. I'll get a doll Christmas morning, and by Christmas evening, my dolly have on a new dress. And everyone will come to see that dress. And I remember at the age of, I think I was 7 or 9 years old, and I was just learning to crochet. And I crochet a hat for this lady, and she gave me $35. That was plenty money to me as a child. And my mother took it and she bought a pair of gold earrings to me with it. Yes, so from that age, I could have made money. So in going to school now, and I draw all the time, I paint all the time. If I'm not actually making a doll dress, I'm drawing one and cutting out the doll dress on the paper and pinning it on my dolls. I was always doing stuff like that. And I must say, again, my mother was very instrumental into who I become today, because she understood too well who I was, so that I always had lots of pencils, lots of coloring pencils, lots of drawing books. So I got the opportunity to excel. But in school, it was different because teachers could not understand artistic people. They never appreciated students who wanted to go in the direction of art or who was born to be an artist. Anytime you are artistic, it's because, well, you're outcast, you know? You're going to be a pauper for the balance of your life, but I bet I'm a liar. And now today I am so proud because I see the schools are appreciating art. More and more young people are coming out of school with degrees in art, different art forms, and that warms my heart. Even during school days, I would be like drawing all the time. On lunchtime, I had my makeup kit. I am in the washroom, shaving eyelashes, putting on makeup, doing stuff. I am always doing stuff. Stealing a bedsheet from home, wrapping it in, wetting it, wrapping it in flowers, so that the flowers will stain the fabric and make a pattern. So even then, your instincts was just kicking in. If you do this, you will get that. So I understood picking ink seeds and squishing it on the fabric and letting it dry, and then go and wash it out, and you're seeing different patterns coming, you know. So, and then now cutting up these bed sheets, so you know, bed sheets start missing from home, you know, who was in trouble. So, you know, and that's how it was for me as a child. But I must say, I had a beautiful childhood. Humble but beautiful.
If you have a great idea, you need a great domain name. And now it's as easy as ABC. Secure your domain name plus free email, hosting, and a website builder for one low price. What are you waiting for? ABCEasySites.com.
Planning a business function, vacation getaway, or conference in Barbados? Visit the all-inclusive Island Inn Hotel, located within the Garrison Historic UNESCO Heritage Site and steps away from the capital Bridgetown. Let us amaze you with our simplicity, old world charm, and a true Bajan experience. Island Inn Hotel, Barbados. Let your Caribbean dreams come true.
Heather Jones Design started from the age of 16 years old on the Dragon Independence Square. Every evening after school, I went to St. Martin's Girls High School in Belmont. And every afternoon after school, I will walk down to the drag and go and pick up leather scraps and go home and stitch it up until it made a big piece of leather. And then I will go and watch you guys work, because what had drawn me to that place was all the creative energy. There was lots of creative energy there, and I love that place. So I used to go, and I used to get in trouble again for going there, but I went anyway. and I collected my scraps, and that's how Heather Jones Designs began. I collecting scraps and doing things from scraps, and then I made a bag. I sold it for $450. It was a fabulous handbag, ladies' handbag. And then from that, I was able to buy leather and make leather belts. I did baby sandals, purse, men's wallet. I did a lot of leather craft, and then whilst I was doing leather craft, I went to Fitz Blackman in Independence Square and asked him to take me. I wanted to do tailoring, but I wanted to do tailoring, professional tailoring. And you know, very rare you'll find a girl coming into an institution like that asking to do tailoring. The tailoring is a man's job. So he didn't want to take me. Again, he refused to take me because of my age. He refused to take me because he thought that I should be doing academics. And the first day I went, turned me away. I went back the second day, he turned me away. The fourth day when he saw me, and I told him what I want to do, he said, I am going to do this, but only on one condition, that you come here from 8 to 4, from 7:30 to 4, and you go to school in the evening, and you keep up your grades. And if you don't, then you can't do tailoring. So I had to do the both. It was hard, days, nights. But I was courageous. I wanted to do this, and it never felt like a burden. It never felt like work, because it was the love of my life.
Business tips. Promotional consideration provided by Entrepreneurs Anonymous.
No one will give you money. If you need large sums of capital to launch your venture, go back to the drawing board. Simplify the idea until it's manageable as an early stage venture. Demonstrate your worth before seeking investment. If your concept is successful, your chances of raising capital from investors will dramatically improve.
Business tips. Promotional consideration provided by Entrepreneurs Anonymous.
If you like this show, share it with your friends. Watch your favorite shows on demand and in HD on Trident10.tv.
How do I remain motivated? How do I get through my tough times? Prayers, tears. Because one thing you must know as an entrepreneur, even the very closest people to you don't even share your dreams. And that is hard. It's excellent when you have a group or a team that share your dreams and could run with your vision. But most times you get up in the morning and I'm talking from reality, and you have to motivate the employees that come through your door even when you don't feel motivated. So who motivates Heather? And then a client will come in and you have to make that client happy. Who motivates Heather? Heather. Where does that source of fountain of love and humanity and kindness and courage all come from? I think it's a divine intervention. You have to have that special quality, because I will tell you this. I'm talking from experience again. The reality of real life in a business is that people just come in the door to make money, not necessarily to work. And when these challenges come to you, yes, I may have my mother, I may tell Nigel, I may tell my children, I may tell, you know, you may share it and somebody will give you a good word like, keep strong, keep going on, we believe in you, you will make it, or might be having a challenge, a financial challenge, and you thought, you know, but most time you realize that talking to other people, they only want to hear your business. They're not concerned with you. You know what? You talk to God. So this is why I say prayers and tears. Because that courage comes from the only person you have to depend on or for that good support is you, nobody else. During the coup, when I went to New York, I showed at the international show in California. I came back into Atlanta, I showed there. I showed in New York City, and it was my birthday. And I had a dream, I dreamt. I had such a lovely day for my birthday. The night, I should have lovely dreams, but that night I dreamt. I came to my shop and it was empty. So I called my mother and I said, because it was bothering me, I called her like 3 o'clock in the morning as I woke up out of the dream. I said, you know, I dreamt so and so. She said, go back to sleep, man. That's just like a crazy dream. Although that is nothing. That time, she knew my dream was very true because they did break my shop and they stole everything out of my shop. I was on Piccadilly Street at the time. I left Independence Square in the Dragon. In those days, I had IDC. IDC took me over to Piccadilly Street. So I had the whole upstairs of Piccadilly Street, where the police station is there. Now I was upstairs there. They broke my store and they took everything. But because I was so far away from home, in her good wisdom, she decided to tell me that dream was trippiness. So when I came home, there was nothing. Anyway, I decided to move out. I moved out and I went to Frederick Street, take a big bite. Frederick Street, upstairs in the mall, store up and running, clients coming, everything looking nice. 5 months after, there came the coup. I was knocked down. I wanted to die. I wanted to die. And that morning I remember my mother came into I came home from the coup. Everything was taken in front of my face. My whole place was run down. Machines were broke off, parts were taken. They took things that they can't even use. And whatever scraps remain, and I moved my business back to Barataria, where I live and work out of the same house for 13 years. In the day it was a factory, in the night it was a home. And at that home, I had 4 children, 4 of my biological children, and I had 7 adopted children. I had 11 children. My mother used to say, Heather, do not take one more child. And at that stage of my life, when that happened, children came to me in the most distressed and distraught way. And things came to me that I couldn't say no. It wasn't something that I could have said no to circumstances. And I took those children in and mind them. I work hard and I mind them with my own money, no government help. I never did it for wealth, for reward or anything. I did it just for love. And I love each and every one of them, and I treat them like my own.
So I say, let's plan our vacation, and suddenly everyone's on Liat.com. My wife announces Liat.com, a nice hotel near restaurants and shopping malls. Must hide credit card. The kids want to Liat.com fun activities, and since someone has to be the sensible one, I'll Liat.com flights, our travel insurance, and a car. Well, sort of sensible.
Liat.com. What else do you need?
Financial difficulties. When you are in business as an entrepreneur, you never get through financial difficulties. There's always going to be financial difficulties. There are times that business are up, there are times business are down, and there's times it's almost to the ground. But in getting through financial difficulties, you may approach your institutions, and you're not always welcome with welcome arms. You know, it's really, really hard, and especially as a woman in business and as a black woman in business, it's extremely difficult. And especially, let me add one more to it. I'm in fashion business, where in Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of people do not understand fashion business. They don't understand it and they don't respect it. When you say fashion, they want you to come. You are a free artist. So you come and perform, do a tea party and a fashion show for them, and they make the money, and you pack up your clothes and go home with all your dirty clothes and don't even have money to clean it next day. So in Trinidad and Tobago, fashion, as a fashion designer, it's one of the most disrespected professions that have out here today, because you're disrespected in many, many forms. If you go to the financial institution, they find every reason why your business wouldn't get to the next level. So therefore, my financial difficulty came in that most of the time, most of the things that we are doing are not funded or loan. It is off of what we do, money that we make. So it's always like, you know, pinching pennies and saving and making sure you get this done to get this done. You know, they don't understand that fashion business is it's a very intricate business. It's multifaceted. And I don't know, I yet to meet a banker or an accountant. Even the accountants in my own office don't even understand fashion business. Sometimes I could be that man. He will just be like, in fashion business, you have to understand what it takes as an accountant to produce a garment, but they don't understand that. So a lot of times we knock heads, but you have to live with them. It's the real world. Especially in the Caribbean. Once I hear fashion, everybody thinking, well, okay, when I do produce a fashion show, it is business for me. A designer show and sell. That is what fashion business is about. You show and sell. And once they hear show, it's about, what must I call it? Entertainment. And free entertainment. And I think that, you know, they come to you and say, oh, can we have a fashion show for so and so and so and so? Yes. And you go, you do it, and that's it.
If you like this show, share it with your friends. Watch your favorite shows on demand and in HD on Trident10.tv.
You can get it if you really want. You just gotta try and try. I sang that song morning, noon, and night. When I was a teenager and struggling to build my business, and no one saw my vision. No one believed that I could make it. But I became a liar, and I make it. I'm still making it. I participated at Fashion Week of the Americas. And at Fashion Week of the Americas, I brought home the Pret-a-Porter Style Award for Trinidad and Tobago in 2002. And that's a great achievement because I stood up among 37 of the world's best and I won. In going out there, I went out there with my samples in my suitcase. I had paid for my hotel and my show, and all I had in my purse remaining was 50 US. And that 50 US, I had to make out for 2 weeks with 50 US. And if you know me, you know I ain't asking nobody. Nobody will know. So I got up every morning, I go down to the beach, I walk, water was free, we take water. So there were times I had to really feast on water where others feast on wine. And I did not even have shoes for my collection. And I remember that day, I took my collection to the stylist and he fitted and he said, Heather Jones, where's your shoes? I have no shoes, I have no money to buy shoes. I didn't tell him that. I said, up until what time do I have to find shoes? He says, until 4 o'clock. I said, thank you. And I left the room and I walked down to Washington Avenue in South Beach. Now, every shoe that I look at was 600 US, 300, the cheapest shoes was 300 and something US dollars. That will suit the collection. So by then now, tears start hitting my toe. Oh God, Lord, I want these shoes, I can't get these shoes, what should I do? And my mother have no shoes for the collection. Anyway, I walked into the store and I saw this man with a shoecase showing samples to the buyer. And there I whipped out my portfolio and I said, hi, I am Heather Jones. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I'm a fashion designer and I'm showing at the Rhodey Palace tonight. I love your shoes and I wish your shoes can be worn with my dress. And he looked at me like, really, who are you? And I was just standing with my sunshine smile on my face. So I presented my work, and as soon as he started going through the books, but one thing I must say, my talent has opened many, many doors for me because it wasn't hard for him to say yes. He didn't fumble after looking at the first 2 pages. He was in love, and he said yes, and I got the shoes. So he said to me, I will be there at 3:30. I walked back, I hustled back up to the hotel, and I stood by that escalator like a child and watched down those steps until I saw that man coming up the step with the boxes of shoes and his hands.